Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Powell. Former Finance Minister said Tekpe has questioned the banking sector cleanup approach, emphasizing a bailout would have been a better option. The Bank of Ghana has come under heavy criticism for collapsing several financial institutions. Mr. Tekpe says the cleanup exercise is needful but could have been handled better.
If we are going to go to the taxpayer, ESLA, or borrowing, bailouts, it is a fiscal cost. And that's why I'm talking as a Minister of Finance. And I'm saying that it is not sustainable. Let me not say probable. It's not sustainable. We cannot be doing that all the time. And so like the European countries, like America, like US and other countries, during the global financial crisis, let us look at other banking resolution solutions. You know, like making shareholders accountable and all those type of things. And then making sure that when we do a bailout, and I think the governor spoke to it recently, when we do a bailout, we must make sure that we recover. When the banks become strong, let's recover the money on behalf of the shareholder, which is what we're going to do with VRA, for the waterfall. Okay, so I hope that, my position on this issue is that it is not to be overcritical of the central bank.
Do you support the governor with the kind of exercise that is going on to make sure that the sector becomes more robust?
I'm saying we initiated it. That's the essence of ESLA.
Do you back him?
I back the cleanup of the banking sector, but I may not necessarily agree with every policy element. We preferred, and we still believe that instead of just borrowing, setting up guarantees and the rest, we did a levy. And I just said that I believe, and unless they show me the statistics to the contrary, why it's not the case, and I'm looking at the report, I'm saying that the levy that we did could be enough.
In other news, this afternoon, British Airways pilots will embark on a strike next month over pay issues that is expected to cause some disruptions to air travel. Already, passengers are voicing frustration over the cancellation of flights over the weekend. Earlier, I spoke to my colleague Sheila Tamaklo on the reason behind the impending strike and the potential impact on air travel.
In the summer, the pilots actually, expressed their concerns about their salaries. So they decided to go on a strike. The British Airways Group tried to negotiate and came up with an 11.5% increment, which they declined. Subsequently, they also took the matter to court, and also they lost at that stage. So the pilots have decided to go ahead with the strike, which will be on the 9th, 10th, and the 27th of September. And
let's talk about the impact, because you're wondering, what has this got to do with me, really? It's British Airways, but we have people who travel with that airline from here in Ghana.
Yes.
So what's going to be the impact on them should this strike go on, and what kind of advice would you give them?
Okay, so the impact is going to be very huge, actually. British Airways carries over 145,000 passengers on a daily basis, and they go to over 180 destinations. That should tell you that they have a flight to almost every corner of this globe. So definitely people from every corner are going to be affected. Now, the impact also to the airline is they are likely to lose over £40 million a day that they don't fly. Airlines make more when they're in the air. Okay, so for passengers as well, if you have a meeting, you are likely to have some challenges because trying to rebook flights at the last minute can be very difficult. And also, so for those passengers, they have been advised to either contact their airlines or contact their operators to have a refund, to rebook, or probably simply go for another airline.
And so we have more on the aviation sector coming up later on the marketplace. That's at 1 o'clock. Do stay. My name is Darryl Powell. Back to you, Bernice.
Thank you very much, Darryl. Really disturbing news for those who've planned to travel later this summer. But coming up shortly in sports, we'll be bringing you update on the All-African Games and Ghana's performance. But up next, we've got world news.